Hey everyone, Jovan here, and welcome to the Sonic 2 Skull Rush presentation, where I will be talking all about Sonic 2 Skull Rush's new features and changes. Stick around for the reveal of the release date. But first, what is Sonic 2 Skull Rush? Sonic 2 Skull Rush is a sequel to Sonic 1 Skull Rush, a ROM hack that was initially released in 2019 in a not very presentable state. So I ended up completely reworking it in 2020 with a gameplay scheme you may be more familiar with, especially if you played the later 2022 release, an even bigger overhaul of the 2020 release. All of these releases focused around one central gimmick, the Skull Rush. The general objective of the Skull Rush is keeping your score high by doing things in-game. One easy example would be destroying badniks, as those are your main source of points in the vanilla games. But in the Skull Rush, you can also get points by grabbing rings, getting specific power-ups, hitting lampposts, and beating levels. However, with no time or rings to be kept track of, score tallies are no more, and it's only what you do in-game that gives you points. So it's a standard score attack, you may think. Well, think again. Your score goes down over time, and you can also lose points by getting hurt. So you want to be careful and at the same time up your score real quick, because if you let it hit 0, it's an instant game over. The 2022 release of Sonic 1 Skull Rush comes in 3 different variants. We have the standard Skull Rush game mode, which involves beating the game with as high of a score as possible. Then we have the Endless Rush, in which you play a random selection of levels, increasing in difficulty as you go on. Finally, we have the Quick Rush, which is kind of like the Skull Rush, except you have to play only one level instead of the entire game. Sonic 1 Skull Rush also made some additions to Sonic's moveset. It added the Spin Dash, the Super Peel-Out, and the Drop Dash, among other things to modernize your experience, while at the same time giving you the option to return to the original experience. Sonic 2 Skull Rush brings back all of the above while also giving you a number of new moves. Decimate boss fights and protect yourself with the Insta-Shield. Take flight and extend your combos. You can also cancel your flight and roll back into a ball. And finally, protect yourself from bullets with Sonic 3's bullet deflection mechanism, all of which you can disable in the settings if you want to bring your experience back to the original, or just want to give yourself a handicap. Additionally, you can play the entirety of Sonic 2 Skull Rush as Knuckles. That's right, 3 playable characters, each with its own unique gameplay style and skill ceiling. And since the characters are so diverse, you get separate leaderboards for each of them. With 2 gameplay difficulties, each character gets 2 different leaderboards, making for a total of 6 leaderboards for the Skull Rush and 6 more for the Endless Rush. And there's one heck of a scoreboard to fill out for you Quick Rush enjoyers, all of which is saved automatically in SRAM. Of course, just dumping everything from Sonic 1 Skull Rush into Sonic 2 didn't immediately make for an enjoyable experience, so I made a number of tweaks. First of all, to increase routing possibilities, I've made it possible to touch star posts in any given order. You no longer have to touch them in an arbitrary left to right order. Next up, the biggest change to the Sonic 2 Skull Rush formula so far. This is the one change that turned Sonic 2 Skull Rush from a difficult mess into an even more enjoyable experience. That's right, the invincibility now makes you invincible to the Skull Rush. While you're invincible, the score will completely stop, granting you the time you need to rack up tons of extra points with little worry. And these 2 are the main changes to the Skull Rush formula. I did have to make some other accommodations for specific levels. Did you know that in Chemical Plant, branching tubes take you on a different direction based on the seconds on your timer? Well, that's a problem because in Sonic 2 Skull Rush, there's no timer. So I've given the player the ability to choose which tube to go through. Hold up as you enter a tube and you'll be sent through the upper route. Don't hold up and you'll be sent through the lower one. By the way, note that with the addition of Knuckles, the layouts are now based on Knuckles in Sonic 2, so be on the lookout for secrets. Next up, Casino Night. Slot machines. Great part of a casino, worst enemy of a score-based gimmick. I've turned them into score dispensers, removing the need to gamble for score. But score dispensers are also really bad for a score-based gimmick, as it's quite easy to farm points by just going through them over and over again, so I've made them single use. Other zones either got insignificant changes or no changes at all. And then there's Sky Chase. Sky Chase is a zone in which there's one easy exploit. Rolling into enemies without ever jumping never ends your combo. You can get hundreds of thousands of points very easily. For this reason, I've made it so that you won't play it in the School Rush and the Endless Rush game modes. You can still play it in the Quick Rush though. And that's all. I hope you're looking forward to play it, because pretty soon you'll be able to. How soon? Well, why don't you find out? Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you're looking forward to the ROM Hacks release. Also, you'll be able to watch me play it live on this channel on September 12th, just a few hours right after the release. More info on that will be available in the coming days, so subscribe to the channel to not miss it. And with that, I'll see you next time.